Hello everyone, it's Craig and welcome back to You Got Nerfed, and this is a video review of the X-Shot Hawkeye, a spring powered pump action, break action blaster built by Zuru X-Shot. Let's get into the review. We'll start off with external overview of the blaster as usual, starting up front. This is not a Nerf brand blaster, so it's not going to have an end strike barrel attachment lug on it. Getting up top is a ginormous tactical rail for X-Shot that includes this X-Shot scope on here. If we wanted to, you can simply remove that and that'll go onto other X-Shot rails. It's not compatible with other Nerf attachments. At least the ones that I have do not work on there. But cool that it has this cool little scope on there. It's not really functional. It's not really a fully see-through thing. Well, it can be see-through, but the sight window is like literally that large, so the attachment's kind of useless, but it looks cool, so it's there. So getting around to the back is a stock or some form of a stock. This seems very small, and even for my size, this just doesn't feel like a proper stock for bracing. This stock moves in and out because this blaster does have the little kickback feature, just like in the X-Shot kickback, and the Flux as well also have that little kickback feature, so it simulates recoil sort of with that sound. Cool mechanic. I wish it wasn't built into stock. I personally would not like my stock moving while I'm trying to shoot, but I guess it does all right for it. But definitely could have designed the stock better, maybe make it attachable with other X-Shot stocks if that was a thing. On there, there is a place for dart storage on here. It can hold up to 4 extra darts on here. I don't know why you would want to keep them on here as opposed to into a pocket, but you can on there. I never trust built in or built on dart storage anyway, but that's the stock. Getting down to the grip is actually pretty comfortable and works well, especially with my small hands. And down to bottom, this is a slinger lanyard mount down here. That's pretty much all to go for the grip. Grip is of a great design. Getting down to the trigger pull is very smooth, and again it has that little little kickback feature that is built in with a lot of the Zuru X-Shot blasters in there, so you can go running around dry firing the blaster, making obnoxious sound, but still without actually firing the blaster, actually pretend like you're firing the blaster as well. Trigger pull pretty smooth within that. Getting up to the front, which is real operation of this blaster, is also pump action, spring powered. To prime, you do that and you're ready to fire once. Blaster does not have slam fire on a single shot blaster. But to load the blaster, you actually have to break the barrel. Yes, it is a break barrel, exposing this little barrel here. You put in your 1 dart, just in like that. You close it up, you pump the handle forward, and you fire once. That's the entire action, and you have to do that quickly. The only complaints that I have with this one is really this break action. To me seems like you have to really like slap it hard, which is going to wear out the gear down the mechanism down here. I think they could have like put in a button or something for you to make the break action system a little bit easier. That just seems like that's hurting the system there a bit. But you break that and then you put it in. The break action system, besides that, works fairly well with it. Quite honestly, what they could have done was literally just chop off this whole thing and maybe put like a top prime handle on here, and could have done it. You slowed the rate of fire down even more by making it a break action plus the pump action part in there. That really slows the rate of fire even for a single shot blaster. That's 2 steps that you need to do, technically 3. Load in the break open the thing, load in the dart, pump it, and then ready to fire. So I don't know if I really agree with that system. It's definitely unique with it, executed fairly well, but I just don't think that it was really necessary even for that. And you can't really feed it in through here. This barrel is way too long for you to just front load in like that. As far as loading it in, it's generally designed with the old Zuru X-Shot 3/4 length darts, but this can work with full length elite darts and stuff. I've heard sometimes it can jam the front of some of the elite darts because it's not designed really for full length darts, but I didn't have any personal issues with that, so no feeding issues while doing it. I was actually using some waffles. Actually, I was using a Mosting darts as well with it, so there was no like cupping of that in there. But just know that it is compatible with full length darts, but at a slightly lower velocity than with the 3/4 length darts here. But it is compatible with that. That's the external overview of the Hawkeye. Let's see it out on the range. Now I'm going to swap over to some Mosting darts. Yes, it's been a while since I've used these darts, but I'm going to swap over to this. I'm going to swap sides here a little bit. Hopefully you can see it a little bit better. Starting out with the 3/4 length darts again. Come on, get in. Now the Mosting darts. Firing analysis and conclusion of the X-Shot Hawkeye. Firing the blaster, I didn't personally find it very fun. I don't like having to do all these steps just to fire off a single shot of the blaster, but it fired fairly well and very consistently. At least my unit did with that. As far as chrono data goes, with the 3/4 length X-Shot darts, I got about an average of 80 feet per second, which is right on the X-Shot par that we can expect from it, from primaries and pretty much all the blasters in the X-Shot line. With white Mosting darts / elite darts, I got about 77 feet per second, slightly less, but not that much drop in performance by changing the projectile with it. So right on line with most Nerf primaries on the market right now, as far as velocity goes with it. Overall user experience, it's very unique. Some of you might find that uniqueness fun. I personally did not. I don't like having to do this whole break action thing, do that, and then that to fire off a single dart. Now, if it was like 2 or 3 barrels that you could fit in there, with the amount of plastic that you did, yeah, you probably can't do that. But if you were to try to execute something like that, maybe make it a 2 or 3 shotter just to make it a break action plus pump action. I think more barrels and more ammo up here would have made it much more fun. And I could totally see a reason for the break action plus pump action system with it. For a single shot, that's a very slow rate of fire. Yes, if it takes almost no time to load up a front-loaded blaster faster than it takes you to do the break action plus pump action system. So not really war practical. So, and I think that's really, not that every blaster should be war practical, but I think this really is just lacking in its, I think it's trying to be too unique and not practical with it. So, I mean, if you're a plinker, a collector, or something like that, you might find some interest in this. Even generally for X-Shot, there's a lot better options than this. This seems like for a primary blaster, this just seems way too big and low capacity for something like this. I mean, it is primary size, but it just seems really low capacity with one shot for what it's trying to do with firing with primary velocity. I think that's really where it fails. So overall, on this one, I'd have my personal opinion on this one is actually kind of negative. I respect their uniqueness, but I don't respect the practicality of what they're trying to do with this. I'm more of a practical, performance-based mindset when it comes to this. In that case, it doesn't live up to the expectations, but in uniqueness and good fun category, I could totally see how that could apply to it. But just, that's subjective opinion right now. my opinion on this is negative, even though that it does work pretty well. My recommendations for this is even check out other stuff from X-Shot. If you're wanting a single shot blaster, get a Flux, get a Kickback, maybe even a Menace. If you're needing a single shot thing with a capacity of 1 in a primary is no. That's just a no-no. It's just a no-no. Check out all the other stuff, even something like a Reflex 6. That would serve your purposes better. Even for the primaries and stuff, there's a whole lot of better options out there from Zuru X-Shot that you could use for primaries rather than something like this. And if you're a blinker or something like that, this could work with that. My recommendation is check out some of the other options, because there's 5 million better options than this out there, quite honestly. So that's my thoughts on the X-Shot Hawkeye. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.